Yeah, that's where I went. I went for Good Morning Vietnam this time round.
Technically, it's just gone past 12, so you lied to them. That's
Good afternoon, Whammers.
That's better. We're honest with our audience.
Good evening, Whammers, if you're listening to this in evening.
No, that's their choice. If they can't listen on schedule, we're not catering to it. If they have to, accept and deal with it.
Good, whatever time of day it is for you out there, as we're in your ears. Whammers! Oh man, at some point I do feel that we need a t-shirt that just says, I'm a whammer, are you a whammer too?
I don't want to get I don't want the conversations in the street that could inevitably lead to.
I wham once a fortnight.
Well, what you got? That's a matter for you. I can't comment. Whamming should only be done safely under strict medical supervision.
Of course.
We here at Hammer accept no liabilities for any injuries or accidents sustained and occurring as a result of unregulated whamming.
Of course, at some point we need to really get people into Whammerland, the theme park that I've got planned based around nothing but Warhammer Monthly.
I'm sorry. No, I couldn't go into Whammerland. It sounds inherently creepy right off of the bat. I said, do you want to go to Whammerland? Like, it sounds like a really bad chat-up line from some sleazy guy in a pub chatting up some poor laugh at the bar. Can I take you to Whammerland? No, sir. You can take yourself to jail. You creepy man.
Excuse me, have you ever been to Whammerland? Because I've got 2 tickets for me and you. Oh man, as always, I am Adam, and with me is Andy T, and we are going to be going through issue 15 of Warhammer Monthly, cover dated. Oh, it's so small. It is so small. It is so small. Cover dated May 1999. I know that we've done this for the last couple of issues, but Jesus, 1999 really weirds me out. It's a proper before time. It's a proper moment before 2000 comes along, before 2001 comes along and changes the landscape of everything for a couple of reasons. And it's just, yeah, it's a pre-Phantasy Star Online world.
I'd argue that coming to us talking to recently about it. I would say it's the biggest. It's the pre-iPhone world.
Oh,
say the iPhone is where things change for better or worse depending on your viewpoint. But that is where, let's say, a lot of things happen. Like the before times when you talk about is like if you want to go and meet somebody, you generally before things became ubiquitous with phones, like having to arrange things in advance.
Yes. Or, you just knock on somebody just on the off chance that they were in. Yeah, that's the...
Yeah, the iPhones that, like, 1999, and I can just hear Prince in my head. It's kind of, that will always be the association for 99 is that song.
Tonight we're gonna party like it's Whamming 99.
But no, it's let's say it's the pre-iPhone world is where you would probably say that things change.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense because that's what kind of you get the apps. I do apologise. You get the apps, you get all the stuff that comes out, but also you get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, they already existed. To be fair, that's the thing is the iPhone is what popularised it. Because I'm sure I probably said, I had a Palm Trio 650. I had a smartphone and a keyboard and all that in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I like a fucking gadget. I always have, and just I like the idea of having that with me. When I was doing webcomics at the time, I would generally take that into my work, and I'd write my scripts at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Because we infrared keyboard, and I would just fold it across and then just get to work.
I remember those things, little Palm computers.
And folk just used to look at you like you were absolutely mental. And then you talk to them a couple of years later, and it's like, yeah, you remember when you laughed at me? I was just so far ahead of the fucking curve, asshole.
I suppose, as well, having a completely forum-heavy pre-social media internet digital footprint is always something I find fascinating. Because in my mind, forums and things were something that we used for like years and years and years. But much like the VHS, they weren't around as long as you think they were.
No.
Or at least they weren't being used as much for as long as you think they were. I mean, forums still exist now, but they are either very specialist or they're help desks. Yeah,
I mean, still have the one I have. The hub is effectively, it's like anyone is welcome to join, but it's mostly like a group of friends that we use to just keep tabs on stuff.
Yeah. I always think, is there a way to kind of get people back into forums? It's one of those mind thoughts that I like to have.
The honest answer is, if Discord's the closest you could get.
Yeah.
But the problem is you need to be more aggressive in moderating a Discord than...
Yes. That's because everything happens in real time, and so you've got to have moderation happening constantly.
Well, the thing is, for that, it would actually work if people could use it properly, because I've used it for creative projects, and it always goes the wrong way in that when people use it, have your chat for one channel, and then have your proper formal post and response for the other one.
Yeah.
And keep it that way and just force it. It's like, no, if I'm sharing a script, I don't want to chat about how good it is. Oh, that's great. It's like, read it, give me your considered thoughts.
Yeah.
And then, but it's trying to get that behaviour into people on a platform that's not ideally designed for it. Like, you can slow it down and what have you in terms of it. There are ways to kind of regulate how often people can post in certain channels or what have you, but you can't really stop and do like a quick one going, yeah. And it's like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. It's one of those things, I think, that because we've become so used to an instant response or an instantly being able to respond to things, that the thought isn't really about what it is your response is going to be. When you go back to forums, because you were writing out something and then posting it, you took more time in doing it. It's not just a quick social media yes or well, hey.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's just different things, and but there's an argument that people have got used to the immediacy of things, so it's like forums aren't really the best way either now. So that's the thing. So Discord probably is the best, and it's maybe a bit more beholden on us old fuckers to move with the times a little.
No,
like, it's easy for me to say no. It's the children that are wrong. But let's say there was a lot of good things about forums, and there's a lot of things that weren't particularly great. And Discord kind of works. That it has that advantage of being a gated community. Now, gatekeeping is not always a bad thing, despite what people will tell you, because, quite frankly, don't let the assholes in.
Yep. I live. Everything in the Fluff and Hammer lives, dies by that particular thought process.
The hub, as I am called, as I'm the administrator, or God mod, as I like to say, because there are other mods as well, but there's a few of us have God mod status, and it basically means we can do anything on it, and we have different the three that do have different sensibilities and different approaches, which means we don't all think the same way, don't all do the same thing, which works. Again,
yeah.
I do have the magic kill button though, so but I tend to try and do it with a light touch. But the rule basically always boils down to don't be a dick.
Yeah.
If you're a dick, I'll bounce you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll I may give you an informal chat warning, or I will just bounce you right away if I think you're an ass. And you just try to make folk, because I'm not interested. It's like, these are people I've been friends with for decades now. It's like, we enjoy talking shit. Normally about Transformers, but a lot of other pish comes up.
I'm always a firm believer in the idea that give someone a chance to learn from their mistakes. And I'll always do that as a moderator.
On the mistake.
Yeah.
There are some things you just can't allow. So it's like, yeah, you're away. But the issue also with forums, and I get why they don't work now as much, is it's difficult to come into them if you're a noob.
Yeah.
Like people can be as welcoming as they want, and people do try to be, as a general rule. I've found, and certainly in the hub. But there's a shorthand between people who've been friends for a while, and there's so many private jokes, and it can be impenetrable, and as a result, people don't engage.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can turn around and say, "Oh, by the way, don't talk like that." Just you do things like that. It's like, no, it's you let people do what they want to do, but that's the double-edged sword of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Discord is, because it's all effectively app-based, if you're on a number of different communities, the notification shite just clogs everything up to the point where you're like, I can't deal with that, and you shut off.
Yes. That's why I've got everything muted apart from 2 channels. I've got 2 channels open, everything else is muted.
Yeah. I took off the phone, it's on the laptop, so unless I open it, it's not there.
Yeah.
Which I should probably fix at some point, but right now I'm balls deep in TFN stuff, so that's so far down the priority list it doesn't even register.
No, absolutely not. You've got more than enough to fill your time with.
Yeah.
Shall we get into issue 15 then?
Yeah, so issue 15, inside, Jericho's back, let the Underhive burn. As our strapline, nice and readable, and we've got a painted cover of the Dwarflords from Paul Staples. It's like, do you want some? And it's like, the cool person in me is like, well, I don't know, you've not really done enough to kind of justify it, if I'm being brutally honest. you promised so much and delivered so little. Apart from this artwork, so...
Yeah.
Again, as I feel like I'm saying this every month now, is as covers go, they're nice images, but they're not. There's nothing on these that's leaping out on that is going to really grab your attention and go, oh, I need to have a look at that.
No, it's a really, really beautiful cover. I mean, the art itself is gorgeous. Yeah, I love the colouring on it, that muted, slightly sickly light that's hitting everything. It is really nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't pop as a cover. Covers need to be able to grab your attention. We're not going to get into it again, because there's no point. But
we've gotten into it so many times over the life of this podcast, but it's important to go, yeah. So, moving swiftly on to the contents page. Again, idiots talk. Very badly cropped dragon-looking thing, telling you that next month Darkblade meets his match. With the text vertical, but what you can do, but you never do it down from top to bottom. You would do it bottom up, because people will read it that way.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just, again, I look at this and just go, the person putting this together is like, I'll break your fucking fingers. You can't do it again.
It's baffling, isn't it? It genuinely, it amazes me that each month it feels like we've kind of been getting it that little bit better over the last couple of months with
there's little bits of progress, and again, the readability of this page as a whole is definitely much better.
Yeah. Having that big white bit there, it's a very simple change they've done, and it works really well.
Yeah.
But then you have this awful crop with this terrible tagline going along the side of it, and you just, come on, Nate, just what are you doing?
Yep.
Oh my word! Yeah. So inside this comic, we've got Darkblade, Pockets, Dwarflords, Cal Jericho, and Inquisitor. Yes, yes. Once again, the Inquisitor. To be honest, the little pictures that you've got along the sides, outside the Dwarflords one, which took me a little couple of minutes to kind of fully pass out and realize it was a face. They're much easier to see than they have been.
Yeah. But again, that is just you select the right image.
Yeah.
That's that. There's no magic trick to it. It's just simply when you're going in, pick the right image for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Pick something that people can read, which they chose not to.
I want to know what the lead-in time was for each issue. Because you'd have think it would be a couple of months. Yeah, each.
Well, there's two things to lead time. There is lead time. There's lead time for it to be on the shelf, but there's a lead time for going to print.
Yeah.
Now, so you are looking at there'll be deadlines for getting the art and then getting all ready, and it will be like a lot of stories I've had shared in terms of publishing. It's so frenetic to the last minute for a lot of things, and I would say that's probably likely true of this.
Yeah,
because like I say, if you're going to do something like that, it's like you've got the images underneath that, so it's in effect that the screed from the two halfwits is overlaid on top of it. So you wouldn't do that if you're doing it. It basically suggests that there's just a strange lizardy dragon against a starry background in a very poorly framed image, if that's all that's there. So, like I say, it's like, no, that needed to be boxed out or identified quite clearly that it's a small individual element.
Yeah.
And also, if you're trying to show a big dragony thing, it's like, why make it pokey and small?
Yes.
Rending the point. Here's this impressive thing, because it's like, but you've got no scale and no context against it to put it into context with. So it's like, why bother? Let's say this. It feels like, say, this page improves and then someone just goes, fuck it.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Is the lead time to go into print really, really short or something like that? Is this like being done very last minute every time? Because obviously this will be the last thing I would assume is being done before going to print.
Yeah.
But is this being done in an afternoon by the work experience guy? You know, it's because I don't know. It's like genuinely though, that dragon picture, I hurt myself laughing. That caught me off guard. It was just, what on earth? Because the major issue, because of the crop you've got with it, it looks like it's a really fat dragon with a really big head, not a big serpentine thing that's waving in and out. And man alive. Right, letters page, somewhere in the warp. Was there any letters that stood out for you this month, Andy?
No, not really. Let's say just. The interesting thing to note is that it's a mix of people across America, Australia, UK, Europe, and again a mix of, assuming based on names, men and women.
Yep.
And which I think is probably a conscious decision on their part, and again, sensible.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Yeah, you want to be showing that you have a large fan base of various different factions and selections, and from all over the world, all the genders, and you've got to be able to show that you are successful, and this is a really good way of doing that. Although, I do like Mr. Black Hastings, the first winner of a glow-in-the-dark Let the Galaxy Burn t-shirt. Kind of want one of them now.
Yeah. A glow in the dark that'll last all of, 4 washes, maybe 5 if you're lucky.
Yeah, there's no way that this was an expensive ink being poured into these things. It would have been very, very cheap. Yeah, it's cool that they're giving away a T-shirt for the best letter of the month, though. That makes me happy.
Again, it's a nice callback to that you would always get. The most UK comics of the preceding eras would always have, if you got something published, you win a prize.
Yeah. Including a Sonic the Hedgehog hog tag. Just saying that that's a thing that's stuck in my mind over the years. A hog tag.
Aye.
Right then, shall we get into the comics themselves? Shall we get into the tales, the stories, and the Dark Blade? Part 2, the Ice-Locked Ark.
Yes, so we kick off with some more Dark Elves who are in one of the Black Arks of Nagaroth, one which has run aground in an ice field and has effectively become just an ice-locked palace.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Dark Elf. Which
elf?
Which elf? I've lost it. It's like, and she's got an orb. The Orb of Malkin. And apparently it's troubled, and she sees someone coming. That someone's going to come to take the prize, and it's something comes, Witchlord. Something comes here to the Ark of Nagor. A threat, a danger, something that intends to take from us that which we prize above all. Do you see us defeated, robbed? No, sire. Then what do you see? Firstly, blood, sire. Woe. And at last a dark elf, a warrior of the Druchi, triumphant, the prize in his hand. Then pray tell, what is the threat? The orb has already shown we will be victorious.
It's a nice starting point. Genuinely, I really like the way this begins. Because you know how it's going to end. It's baked into the story from the very beginning, but it's a fun way of doing it. The sheer arrogance of the Dark Elves is on display here. It's good. It's well done. It's a nice start.
And then the rest of the story kicks in.
Yes, I know.
And you just get the narration about Malus Darkblade, dire of the tale to the Black Ark, and how its vast bulk plied the boiling sea and carried the curse of Nagaroth far and wide until it was wrecked here, ice-locked forever in the chaos wastes. The Witchlords of Nagor dwell here, guarding the infamous Orb of Malkin, the vitrified eye of an ancient demon in which the future, is said, may be discerned. Malus Darkblade has need of such a tool, if he's to scour the world for the demon Zarkan and find his stolen soul, no matter how doomed the attempt. And then you get a really good Frank Miller Sin City panel of Darkblade all in white on the ice as it starts to shatter.
Yeah.
Beautiful panel pops. Again, as we said, and we will continue to do, is when we rag on Darkblade, there are next to no criticisms aimed at Kev Hopgood. You are doing the Lord's work. You're doing very heavy lifting. Your action scenes are fantastic. Composition's great. I love it. But it's in service of just such the absolute just nothingness of stories.
Yeah. And there's something about this particular one, and I'm still yet to fully get my finger on what it is. But his art in this is, I don't know. It's like he's been given a bit more freedom or something.
It's also probably to do with the fact that it's probably the first time that he's not consistently, here you go, you're in darkness, you're in an ice field. You've got that negative space to play with.
Ah, yes.
Now, by its very nature, with the negative space, your eye is drawn to, but also does make the art feel more expansive and bigger.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's great dynamic stuff as Malus Darkblade inevitably goes through. He's doing the thing of if it's been foretold, it's a fool's errand, yada yada yada. But he gets up, and it turns out that they weren't expecting the witch elf didn't see him coming, and he basically kills her and takes the orb.
Yep.
And the Witchlord gets very angry and is like, "What?" It's like, the intruder slew Belladon Witchlord and took the orb. It was a single dark elf.
May Cain flee your paltry souls in the everlasting fire, complacent fools. The vision told us this much. The orb was ours to protect. It was our sacred duty to the bloody-handed god. Now we allow one traitor of our own kind to take it. Here, hear me now, I, Witch Lord Balnath Bale, son of Christian, of the ice-locked ark, will not rest until this scumdroochy thief has been found and punished and the orb restored to this place. Rouse the witch guard. We will hunt this miscreant to the ends of the world. So now we know what the story is for Book 2. He's going to be chased by dark elves. Like, he's going to be chased by the other dark elves for the rest of the tale.
I don't even think it'll be that long. We've seen how often things just get...
That's true. I think it's because the opening 2 pages to this are so well done that there's a part of me that's like, can Darkblade get good? Oh, no.
I would disagree with you there. I don't think they're well done. I think they're competently done, and it's very generic. This could almost be something out of an Elric book or similar. Let's say back to Delric's roots. There's nothing in this that's great. It just happens to be slightly more interesting than what we've had before. What comes immediately after it.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I'm more interested in the story of this ice-locked ark than I am with Malice Darkblade.
There is nothing of this character at all to interest me in any way, shape, or form, because the fundamental flaw of this is, what has he done to make him be an interesting character? I don't mean a good guy or a bad guy. I mean interesting. He's not interesting in any way, shape, or form. There is nothing to hang on him at all.
No. That's it, isn't it? So what you've got here at the very beginning is you've got these 2 characters speaking, and there's enough there for you to get an idea of who these 2 are. The character of these 2, you know, they've got the arrogance of the Dark Elves absolutely forefront. You can see stories being told about these 2 before she gets stabbed to death. And then you get Malice himself, and outside of a lot of look how cool he is narration, and it's funny that you mentioned Frank Miller, actually, because in a lot of ways, this is like a poor representation of the Sin City noir captions. Because Sin City got a lot of Sin City, not Sim City. Sim City's a very different thing. You got a lot of the character across, but all Malice is, look how edgy I am. That's literally it. The man's a pizza cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the art's fine. As I say, it's really good. Kev Hopgood is doing great work, but I'm loath to spend any more time talking about it, if I'm being honest, because we're just saying the same thing all over. This fills pages and nothing else.
Yeah. It baffles me that Darkblade actually ended up being a thing. You know, that this is a character that kept coming back and got a miniature and got a character rules and got novels. The novels, I will admit, are actually much better than the comic, but it's baffling. It truly baffles me.
Yeah, look at this. It's like, no, this is so not. Let's say you can't even get angry with it because it's not bad. It's just there.
Yeah.
You want to get a reaction out of your reader. Not everything is going to be to everyone's taste, but the worst thing you can engender in any audience is apathy.
Yeah.
I would rather anything I did, someone went, I didn't like that, because it's at least had an impact on them. It's not made the connection I've wanted, but it's made a connection.
Yeah, somebody's engaged with it.
Yeah. There's nothing to engage in that story. The art is the only source of engagement in that story.
Yeah.
And Kev does wonderful work. And like I say, the high point for it is that we've finally taken him out of dark and dingy, so you can let the art breathe a bit. because the ink washes are lovely and wonderful, but if you've got it constantly in dark, it's like, yeah, it just becomes the same. So he's been given a little bit of room to breathe on this one, which is nice. So credit to Abnett for doing that. Just wish it'd been in service of a better story.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Which leads us on to the next story by Dan Abnett and Kev Hoggood.
And this is Pockets. As you say, it's the second Dan Abnett and Kev Hoggood story. It's the story of Van Reen, a cut purse on the Reichland dock quarters. He just goes around stealing everything. He sees a mark. It's too easy. It's almost too easy. It's almost too perfect. But the moment he grasps the purse, he is transported into a pocket dimension. Hey, see what I did there? Yep. And surrounded by skeletons, a familiar sits in there that has big, gooey Orosukadoji tentacles, and we assume he is eaten. I hope he's eaten.
Yeah.
I mean, the man with the screaming pockets. It's 2 pages of nothing, but
yeah,
it's perfectly fine. It's a nice little... It feels more D&D than it does Warhammer. You know, Warhammer doesn't usually go in for things like pocket dimensions unless you're dealing with the Chaos Gods or the Skaven or something like that. So having a wizard wandering around who has a purse that transports people into a little alternate reality where a big gooey monster will eat you, it's a bit weird, but it's fine. It looks nice. I do quite like the all the more for me was Van Ryan's motto. The mark went past. He took his mind off everything. Tall, expensive robes, unclasped pockets, and a distracted air. It's, yeah, nice little bit of prose. Outside of that, though.
Again, they've been doing these mostly for Warhammer over the last few issues. It's just little short stories giving you a little bit of a flavour of stuff. I'd say perfectly serviceable, lovely art. Again, the thing that he's remarking before he does that is there's less and less thieves kicking about.
Yeah,
with the conclusion that this sort, and there's enough skeletons there to suggest that that's probably where all the thieves have ended up.
Yep. Yeah, they've all been eaten by the Orosukadoji monster.
Yeah.
I do like the expression of fear on the Capursa's face. It's like, oh, Jesus, no.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like these little short stories, these little two-page ones. They've been, even when they haven't been great, they've been enjoyable. Yeah, there's not really much else we can say about it, is there?
Lovely art from Kev, as we know, and we come to expect. See, it's nice we didn't have another Chaos God story.
Yeah.
I think, as I said, I possibly may have ended up putting a foot through the monitor if when I don't read, it was another one. And it was Adam, we're not recording the podcast tomorrow, I need a new monitor.
I'm too angry to record.
Yes. I've just punted my very expensive monitor.
No. I do like the idea of the man with the screaming pockets. That's it's a lovely little turn of phrase, and it's one of those things I would love to kind of adapt that for an RPG, and probably will at some point if I ever get a chance to run an RPG game again.
But yeah,
next up.
So, someone thought it would be a good idea to remind us of all the previous installments of Dwarflords. Why? Why do I bad times? It's effectively one of the maps of the old world with, they say, their journey mapped out in terms of where the landmarks are and how they've got to where they are.
Yeah. And It would be okay if it was readable.
It is actually perfectly readable. It is just messily laid out.
Yeah, that's fair. What I mean by readable is the actual map itself, not the bit that's showing you all the different places that they've been and the little descriptions. But when you have point one there, and then how it does it half an arrow, and then the other half to get to point two. I understand that's because they teleported there. It makes sense. But looking at it, it just kind of feels like you're not quite sure what that is on about. It's
No, I would disagree on that one because they've clearly done it. Because what it is you've got the dotted arrow for that. Everything else is a solid one. Then you've got the dotted bit as they get to the dragon's lair bit. So no, I think it's fine. It's the problem is just the clutter of the assembled images and bits to go in line with it. No. You needed all of those to be below the carrot cadron line entirely.
Yeah. Because your eyes automatically goes to part 5 first, doesn't it? Because that's the highest one up.
Yeah, but because you know it's numbered 5, you go, right, you don't start reading at 5, you go to number 1. So the numbers make it readable, but it's a mess. And if the numbers weren't there, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it goes... proper zigzags, doesn't it? Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the reason for that is because it's split over the 2 pages. So you've got all of 1 to 4 on one page, because we're reviewing this via means the PDF has, when this has been scanned in, it's a double page spread that's been scanned in as one spread.
Yeah. And so, to be fair, whoever scanned this in has done a really good job of combining the 2 pages.
Yes. 10 out of 10.
So if you are that person, let us know, because well done.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a mess. But it's just effectively it's a good way to do a recap page, and probably the most successful out of the ones that they've attempted up to this date.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that one.
It does actually effectively communicate what's happened for the Dwarflords. It's just a messily laid out one.
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers needed to work in order, and everything needed to be on the same horizon in order to be readable. Oh. So then, we move on to The Dwarflord Speaks, a brief chat with Peter Davidson. Not that one. Are you ready for the last episode?
Oh, not Peter.
Did I repeat it? Oh.
You did say Peter. You're such a big Fifth Doctor fan?
I am indeed. Surprisingly enough, yes.
So we did find out he's 28, and how did he first get into the comics? So this answer the question is, the opportunity to pollute young minds via comics was presented to yours truly by you kind and clever people at Games Workshop. So this is his first story, which answers a lot of the criticisms, and we said in terms of what it was.
Yeah, and he is an illustrator by nature. Talks about how he begged for a break, and of course, have you ever considered publishing a comic based on your games? Little did I know that's exactly what you guys were planning. And to be fair to him, the little drawings that he's got around the article are so good. They've got so much character to them.
Yeah.
And of course, we get the usual Warhammer Monthly questions. What's your favourite food? What's your favourite footwear?
Yeah. However, the important bit was the story planned, or did you, as rumours suggest, just make it up as you went along? Completely off the cuff. Yeah. I created obstacles in more just to confuse them. I think they handled it quite well.
I would disagree. Yeah, no, it a lot of Dwarflords kind of makes a lot of sense from what we're seeing here. And hopefully, I hope that he comes back and he's learned a bit from doing Dwarflords, and we see a bit of a marked improvement.
Yeah, again, as we before we get in, is the art itself is fine. It's the storytelling that's been the problem.
Yes, the script itself is the issue, not the art. The art has been lovely all the way through.
The script and the storytelling in terms of the art, the way the have been laid out. So we're on to, let's say, Part 7, Slayer Keep.
It's Ungrim. It's Ungrim Iron Fist. Look at him. Yeah. Look at him. I'm so happy.
Back in Carreg Cadron, where it all... And in the Great Hall, King Ungrim Iron Fist addresses his battle-weary warriors, what remains of them.
Hear me, clansmen. Chaos is at the gate, so we are for if only we had our if only our mighty Trollslayers had not departed for the grand conniving of Sufpa. Without them, we shall surely fail. Even now, I fear it is too late, but word must be sent to bid them return and save Carreg Cadron. Which of you will volunteer?
So, as he's giving his rousing speech, from the outside we can see that the Dwarflords are making their way back to Carreg Cadron. So they're nearly there, and they're talking about how they can almost taste the ale and stew, and the hero's welcome from the ladies they'll get.
Yep.
So, all looking good.
And then they climb up the cliff, and there is just chaos happening. Absolute rambunctious chaos. My personal favourite is the large ARG in the middle of an explosion.
Yeah. Oh, that's not an explosion. That's a splash of boiling oil.
Oh, so it is.
That's boiling oil on fire, by the looks of it.
This bit makes me think of Thrud and what was the goblin one that was in White Dwarf called? Can't remember. But it really feels like that kind of proper punky.
Yeah, this harkens, say, to, as I've said previously, there's a lot of Bisley in this, and people forget that Bisley, as much like they forget, there's a lot of humour in a lot of Bisley material that's there between this. This kind of very much feels of that ilk as well.
Yeah, it does. It's honestly, I could spend days just looking at that giant panel. It is lovely.
It's also telling that it's not a traditional panel arrangement, but it's easy enough to follow and isn't confusing.
Yeah.
So we're keeping on a more even keel than we have done, and so following on from the previous issue. And I say we're getting double page spreads, which I like, but can sometimes be messy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a waste of real estate as well. But in here again, we're doing the same thing. My only criticism will be is I can see there's at least one bit of dialogue that should not have been placed where it would be, because looking at it on the double page spread, they're smack dab in the centre.
Yeah.
Unless this was the exact centre page of the book, bad.
Yeah. Which is one of those things we can't check at the moment, but if it was, then it means that the next 2 pages would have been borderline unreadable. But we'll get to the next 2 pages in a second. But genuinely, that's I love the larger picture of the 3 dwarfs in the corner. That is that's nice. That's so good, and the way it transitions through to the battle scene. That's my jam right there.
Yep. And as the dwarfs just get set to work attacking chaos, they all get a little bit of a moment, just so you can actually, which they've not really had too much of in this.
No.
It's been, let's say, interchangeable dwarfs for most of it, which has been kind of a bit of a thing. So they get back. So as the battle's going on, they manage to make Iron Fist's still trying to persuade folk, which seems a bit odd because dwarves generally don't mind a fight.
No.
And it's like, no one wants to be the one to leave. And it's like, yeah, you might not want to be the ones to leave, but you also don't want to be out there fighting either, by the looks of things, which is the weird bit of staging on it.
Yeah. I think
it's like, I get what he's trying to do, which is basically saying that they won't leave because they'll think that they're cowards. But by the same token, while that battle's going on, them being inside that dirty big hall is not exactly, primo A1 fighting dwarf material.
No, and I think what it's trying to get across, but never actually says, is that the people who are inside, they're not all warriors, even though it is the Hall of Slayers, and they should all be Slayers. And this is the thing that creates a little bit of a disconnect between this and the lore, is that whilst obviously any giant city hold isn't only going to be all of one thing, but it is a place that is constantly full of Slayers. This is where people go to take the Slayer's Oath. So having all of the Troll Slayers not being there doesn't make any form of sense. So
as he's doing it, the dwarfs are fighting, the three dwarfs outside are fighting their way in and basically talking about, what they're going to do. So I'm going to get Bugman's finest, not a flagon, it'll be a barrel. One's like, I just want to sit down. So they get in, it's like, can't wait to see the look on their faces when we stride in, bold as brass. It's grand to be back, I'm not going on any journeys for a long time. And then as it's there, you've got the narration of Iron Fist going, by Grimnir, who will take up my challenge? King Iron Fist, it's us, they say. Here we are.
Excellent. I knew someone would volunteer for such a danger. Bring them provisions. They must leave immediately. What was that?
After certain death. Lucky Wazzix. It's like, what did we miss, King Iron Fist? Did we miss a meeting or what? What did he mean, volunteer? And then the secret portal at the rear of the Mountain Keep, our three Dwarflords are hurried out. So they're fucked off out the back door to go to Zuff Bar to give them to get the Slayers back.
Yep. I'm going to say it. I really liked how this ended, and I hope that this continues.
I enjoyed the ending because it's ridiculous and it's absurd, which kind of leans into what the characters kind of were framed at in the first story, in the first part, which kind of didn't really so much lose sight of, but didn't do as much or play with as well in the preceding runs. So,
the humour, I think, finally found its stride in the last two parts. It's very, very farcical in a lot of ways, and I think it's the humour has been a major problem, a major stumbling block in getting across the story as imagined. It's not really worked, but in this one it has, and it proper made me chuckle the way that it's framed and the way that it all comes together. I love the my Grimnir, who will take up my challenge? King Iron Fist, it's ours. Excellent. That really got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah, properly enjoyable. Most of the niggles of the art, in terms of and by that we mean the storytelling, addressed. Again, he's still having fun with the layouts and being a bit adventurous, but the readability is so much better in the last couple of installments.
Yeah, I never thought, I did not think I'd say the words, I hope Dwarflords comes back. Because if it can keep this level up, then it's good. It would be actually good. There's so much here that I want to get into. That I love the door being opened and the word swing being this boomerang.
And it's done in such a way, and it's like swing, and there's like, I love art. I love integrated sound effects in art.
Yeah, completely and utterly, and it's done so well here. It's proper made me happy that Dwarflords has kind of taken a little bit of time to. Well, it hasn't taken a little bit of time. It's taken about 5 issues. To find its stride, but between this and the last one, yeah, come on, let's keep this going. Let's keep this level up because it's working now, and I like it. That's not to take away the fact that when it didn't work, it was dire, but it's working now. So hopefully, he says 30 years after the fact, we keep this going. Hopefully, we get to see Dwarflords come back in this kind of frenetic pace.
Yeah, I'd absolutely welcome it back if it's along these lines.
Yeah, we will see as we go along. Yeah, I really liked it. Really liked it. Next up, then, Khal Jericho in Redemption, and it's another little short Khal Jericho one shot where the Cardinal Crimson, High Hierophant of the Redemptionist Crusade and self-proclaimed Scourge of Sin and Hammer of Heresy, is wrapping up the people of Necromunda, the people of the Underhive, into a giant frenzy where they get to throw people into what I assume is a sump where they will melt. I know it says cast them into the Lake of Fire, but it looks liquidy to me. It looks very liquidy. Yeah,
I mean, it's again ostensibly meant to be lava, but you're not really getting enough of the. Or it's probably not even Lake of Fire. It'll probably just be chemicals. It could be Lake of Fire. It'll be acid. It'll be an acid lake, probably, which is kind of what he maybe means.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was just thinking. It's a sump of some description. Just all these chemicals have banded together, and they're just throwing people in to melt.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, it's not the nicest of places, but then again, Underhive is by its very nature.
It's not a holiday spot for a reason.
It's a shithole. So basically, what they're doing is they're basically it's like I speak now of the alien and the mutant, the heretic and the blasphemer, the outlaw and the witchling. For such deviant scum, there can be no mercy. For such wretched sinners, there can only be one fit punishment: redemption. So, horsing them into the pit while they're all bound, and yep, typical unpleasantness unfurls. So, you're asking why are we bothering about this? What's the connection to Khal? Well, it turns out that we find out that we're getting the narration from Khal about this rather than it being your omniscient third-party narrator.
Yeah.
He's watching because his scrofulous sidekick Scabs has been captured on one of their heretic hunt sweeps throughout the Underhive. So he's here to save the day and rescue his pal. Which he does. He swashbuckles his way right the way in. Let the fallen rejoice. Let the fallen beware. Let the... Oof! As he's proper swashbuckled in a This Is Sparta style straight into the acid sump. I wasn't really worried. I knew you'd come and get me. Took your time though, didn't you? Urgent business up high. If you're lucky I even got here at all. Besides, what good's a daring rescue unless it's of the last minute variety? I love the super ugly little redemptionist shouting his "Smite the Mechadants! Purify them! Let the wrath of redemption be visited upon them!" And this daring rescue of yours, any chance to include an escape plan with it? No, just the usual tried and tested one that served us so well in the past. Make a run for it and trust to luck. Fully charged lance pistol with an immaculate sense of style will see you through. They drop a little plasma grenade, and if anybody remembers plasma grenades in Necromunda, they were destructive as hell, and that is definitely shown in the art. Kaboom. The Khal and Scabs managed to get away, being shot at from afar, and a very cinematic little experience, but it's, to everyone's shock, the Cardinal isn't dead. He rises like Skeletor at the end of the He-Man Masters of the Universe movie from the pit and returns in a horrible, broken way, probably to return as a big bad at some point. And he is absolutely wrecked. It is a lovely, disgusting piece of art at the end here. No, Brother Beltane, I have not returned. I have been reborn. I have been baptized in the lake of fire, and my body and spirit reforged
in blood and pain. As the flesh burst away from my body, so did the Emperor to reveal his death to treat that. Death to that most maleficent of all malefactors. Death to the greatest arch heretic of them all. Death to Khal Jericho. Khal Jericho continues to be one and done brilliant.
Yep. Although this is very much the seeding of this. We will come back to this at a later time, because you don't go to the bother of giving the real estate of, oh, you now have an enemy that you don't know about because you're assuming he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm assuming that they're getting geared up for a Khal Jericho story as a whole. Which
we kind of said is something that is welcome, but what you need to do first of all, though, is bed him in, get people used to him, and then make sure it's fine, which is kind of what they've done.
Yeah. I do feel that the end needed a question.
No, I generally dislike that, because it's like the end. Clearly, it's not the end. These ones are it's just always lazy when they do that.
Fair enough. I think in this case, I would have liked it.
I think it's redundant because we know this guy's coming back.
Yeah, no, we do, 100%.
You're not taking the time to set that up.
No. I did find it was a bit strange that the script by Gordon Rennie, art by Kyle Kopinski, and letters by Gordon Robson is at the very end of the strip, not at the beginning. It's just a bit weird that the credits aren't at the beginning of the strip. I don't know why.
Because there's no convenient place to put them.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at where it is, it would be obscuring bits of art on the first page, which is where the only other place you would do it. So not uncommon to then, if you're doing the credits, you can't do them at the start, do them at the end.
Yeah. All in all, I really like this. It was good fun.
Kopinski's art is a action-packed, dynamic, very well rendered, and the right side, just sort of cartoony enough to not undermine the kind of the tone of the story, but still cartoony enough to be fun. Because a lot of times when you get stories like that, art can be kind of up its own arse and be a wee bit po-faced as you're trying to make the guy look cool. It's one of the tricks that Jericho and Dante got right. It's like, yeah, the character's cool, but they're not inflappable and they're not infallible, and they will end up eating shit on occasion.
Yes.
And that's what actually makes them more endearing and engaging to the audience.
Yeah. If it's just a constant win, then there's nothing there that you can really enjoy. So here we go, winning again. Yeah.
It's that whole kind of too cool for school shit.
Yeah,
it's like you need to, and to borrow wrestling parlance for those, it's like the advent of the cool heel. So no, the heel should be a bit of a shiter as well.
Yes. Yeah, heels should always be pricks because you want someone to boo. A heel that's popular for being himself is a failing heel. You want to have something to some weight behind your momentum, behind your choices.
It's not even that you want to make them. They shouldn't be someone that you've made look better than the guy you're up against as well.
No.
So it's kind of that thing. It's like no, give your characters a bit of vulnerability, a bit of they're not perfect. They're not gods. They're not cool. They're not. Again, it's the one thing with Darkblade. There's no sense of jeopardy in any Darkblade story.
No. That's kind of where my brain went to there. I just didn't want to shit on Darkblade again. But because Darkblade just constantly wins. There's no real sense of danger, no sense of pressure or anything. It's just, and here he is again. Whilst there is that little sense because we've seen that Jericho can be outmaneuvered. We've seen that Jericho can be outworked, and you want to have that. You want to have it so that every best plan shouldn't survive contact with the enemy. And whilst, there is a plan here, it goes wrong, and he has to improvise, and he has to think on his feet. And that's what you want. You want to see that's the stuff that makes a character interesting. You're absolutely you're right there. That's what Darkblade doesn't have.
Yeah.
I do want to point out as well and it's such a weird thing to get focused on, but Cal's sword, when he slashes through the bonds, and that slight vibration that you've got with the little lines, I love that.
Yes, not. I think you'll get more in black. You get more in black and white these in those days. Modern with computer coloring, people don't tend to do that. They just do like fades and gradients and
yeah.
But yeah, excellent cartooning. And what I also loved is, and because you don't see enough, and you used to see them all the time, was I do like a round panel, and you got one on the page.
You do.
Like, Golden Age comics used to do them all the time, and it's one of these things that have mostly fallen out of favour. But anytime someone like rocks up and pops one in, it's just like, give me that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, isn't it, that happened especially during the early 2000s, and it's a weird one to really draw attention to. But it's in a lot of ways the fault of Watchmen, where the 3x3 standard became something that people emulated a lot. And by doing that, you lose some of the fun that you can do with panels. Panels don't need to just be squares. You can do all sorts. And Dwarflords did it really well, actually, in this issue. I love seeing the idea of panels being played with.
I do and I don't, because the thing is, the 9-panel grid, I'd actually say it's not Watchmen. Watchmen kind of have done it, but it's a rhythmic device.
Yeah. I'll rephrase that, actually, because it's not the fault of Watchmen. It's the fault of people who read Watchmen after the fact and tried to emulate it. And I think there's a lot of comics that happened, especially in the early 2000s. I think that was when it was at its worst, where the 3x3 got used in times when it would have been better to open up the space a bit more.
But the sensible people would use that grid, but you do it because it's not the 3x3 layout is if you do it properly, is you would then condense panels, so you would have it so one tier is a tier of one, then because it's the same as what Watchmen did. If you actually watch, it's not all 9 panels.
No.
It's on that grid because it's a rhythmic device. That's the whole point about in any pages. There are certain ways to tell a story, and there's certain to be honest, the 4-panel grid is not the worst. It's the 4-panel horizontal widescreen one. It's the fucking worst.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Laziest panel. Like, it's like, not say you don't use it, but doing it all the time. It's like there are certain artists that can make it work, and there are other ones who can't.
Yeah.
It was the 4-panel widescreen, post Authority, post Astonishing X-Men with John Cassidy. It's like everyone was like, they knew what they're doing and didn't do it all the time.
Yeah. I suppose it's anything, isn't it? It's people, especially very early on in their career, they like when they're trying to build their own style, and I think you see a lot of that. I don't know why my mind's focused on the early 2000s as being the worst offender of that type of thing. So I wonder if it's just there was a lot of new artists working for cheap in Marvel and DC at that time. But I do remember seeing a lot of a lack of understanding about what you can do with a page and how that can work compared to emulating stuff that's already gone before.
Yeah. But again, no tools are inherently good or inherently bad. It's how you use them.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that one. Didn't expect us to go off on one about pipe shapes here.
The fact it popped up is a nice one. It's like, oh, nice. So we round out our issue with the return of Inquisitor, and we continue the story of the taint of Ladiness.
We went a week without without chuckling.
Again, it's just one of these words that has been ruined now.
Yeah.
Like its dramatic effect and how, because it's a good word in purple prose, or used to be a good word for purple prose. That the taint of evil be upon him. Really?
So recently, I read through the Usheran Age of Sigmar novel, right? And due to this podcast and the chuckling at the taint of Nicodemus that we've had, there's a line in the Usheran comic, in the Usheran novel, where I was unable to read for a few minutes and had to put the book down. And that's the line that Usheran grasped the taint in order to show it to everyone.
I'm not too proud to laugh at that.
I had to put it down because it makes perfect sense. He is taking the flesh eater curse and he's trying to give it to other people, but it is written in such a way that he has just flashed his taint to an entire castle full of people. So thanks, Andy.
Yeah, it's just one of these things that just certain words just I say that whatever the original meaning is, once you know, you can't unknow it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh, man. So, yes, Inquisitor, script by Dan Abnett, art by Simon Colby, and letters by Kid Robson. My God, I can't. At least I can speak better than I could for the last issue. I haven't called anything a battle feat Glothic.
Yeah.
So
Yet.
There's always time for spoonerisms.
Yeah. So we're confronted by Gravier as being woken up by DeFay, who's asking if he's hurt, and he's like, he's just dazed. What happened? Is it over? No, it's barely begun. Conceal yourself in safety. I will finish this bloody business.
I love the little narration here. The place is cold and dark. I see the bodies of the honor guard leaders here. I smell the blood. My master is more troubled than I have ever seen him. I'm making no sense. My head is spinning. I must start this from the beginning and record this properly. And it's a lovely little narrative device to take us a little bit back to when the Cardinal and the Inquisitor are arguing. The Cardinal and the Inquisitor went to sea in a beautiful green boat. And just the conversation that they're having, the two sides of the Imperium at war with each other in a very microcosmic sense.
Yeah, you've got, and say, as we see that the Cardinal is a much more rounded character than he appeared to be in the first installment, because he's not objecting to the Inquisitor's work, but more the fact that, say, it seems barbaric. We're tearing the place apart.
If needs be.
And again, there's nothing to be found. There's no prescribed literature, no damning evidence. And Gravier seems to doubt his. I felt sure my master had made an error, that he'd followed the wrong lead, but he seemed, no, that's not the start of it either. I wish I could clear my head. Such a jumble of images making no sense. Concentrate. I remember Strom himself. He answered all the questions put to him, no matter how many times they were asked. He seemed an honest and honourable man. So you see him, he doesn't look like he's being restrained, and he's just being asked questions constantly by the Inquisitor. And he's basically saying, nope, I'm a devoted subject of the Emperor. And he's like, I understand why your approach should be so thorough, but I've welcomed you to my house and willingly answered your inquiries. When will you be satisfied?
When I have the truth. My work has uncovered a deep taint of chaos in the noble families of the world. 2 outbreaks have occurred so far, both involving your bloodline. I must examine every link in this familial chain and test it for that taint.
Tastes like taint.
Well, you know, he does like his taint test.
Yeah. So again, the questions go on. And it's like Strom's and the Graveyard's just still narrating. It's like Strom's denials ring in my ears, but still my confused mind tells the story awry. I'm the Inquisitor's archivist, and I must be precise. It's like, so clearly he's got a concussion and he's writing a travelogue. It's like, oh, pal.
Yep.
So we jump further back to seeing that they arrive at the manse of Gustav Strom, a renowned winemaker in the northern province of Bray. Strom was of the Mathildes lineage, and my master suspected that he too carried the family curse. And you've got the Cardinal basically pouring scorn on the effort and saying it's a fool's errand. He's a distant link in the chain. But DeFay's just goes back to him and goes, but the paternal descent runs directly to him as it did with the Hellspawn in the city of Narthax. We will see when we arrive.
And oh my God, look at that building. Oof.
Straight out of Hammer.
Yep.
Which is not a surprise given that the northern province of Bray, for those that don't know, Bray Studios is where Hammer used to film all their stuff.
Yep.
Oh, classic Hammer before they moved to Elstree. But Bray Studios was where it was all done. So all the god tier early Draculas and Frankenstein are all there.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on in this one.
Yep. So he's begin a room-to-room search, attend to every detail. I've briefed you on what to look for. So at once, Inquisitor. And I do not understand what's going on. It's like, that is what you will tell me.
Yes, that was the start of it. My mind assembles the facts in more order now. We came to test Strom and found no trace of the evil that the Inquisitor suspected. Gunfire. Distant echoing. Then the rest of it wasn't a dream. My wounds, the dead around me, it was no nightmare, no figment of my concussed brain. There was a dark truth here after all. After 6 hours of hard interrogation, I felt pity for the man Strom. I beg, no more questions. You're the revolver on my head, like I cannot bear any more. Then let the truth out, even if you do not know it to be there is a dark segment to your soul, Gustav Strom. What have you done to me? What have you found in me? Yeah.
And I love the framing of the panels on this in terms of you've got the last panel of what have you done to me, and you've got him starting to turn, and then you've got him in full big chaos possessed demon spawn form.
Yep. Holy shit, that's good. It's genuinely took me.
What I love is it's not a gradual transformation. It's very quick, and that conveys the speed of it in terms of 1 minute he's there, he's gone. Because a lot of times in segments like that, you'll give the artist time to have an elaborate transformation sequence, because that can be fun as well. Think about the amount of times you've seen Bruce Banner turn into the Hulk or Ice. You want to let that breathe and give it dramatic effect. But other times in the story, you want it to just hit on a dime and just be bang, one tap. Because it heightens the peril for the Inquisitor. And even now that the demon thing's still blaming the Inquisitor on it, which is a nice touch.
It is. It's really cool. This guy did not know what was inside him. Or at least he'd pushed the knowledge of what was inside him away.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
It's one of those things where here's a little tiny piece of information, and you can then extrapolate from that a larger story. It's good. It's real good.
Yep. And let's see, he goes to work, battering fuck at everybody. again, and he's just like, but again, knocking fuck, trying to get away. Because rather than staying and looking to kill them all, the demon thing is looking to escape.
Yep. Where is it at? Unerringly, my master had cut his way to the truth. It seems that Strom did not even realize he carried the chaos taint in his heart. Did it awaken only because of my master's questions? Have we destroyed a man who otherwise would have led an incorrupt life, denying the darkness that lurked deep inside him? That's just awesome. That's such a cool concept because it shows once again that the Inquisition are a bunch of dicks. This is something that could not have been, it didn't need to be a problem.
Or by the same token, it was a time bomb waiting to go off, as the Inquisitor basically says at the end of this. When he's confronted by the Cardinal.
What you have wrought here, Inquisitor, in my mind you have driven Strom to this end. It was you who woke the evil in him, an evil that would have slept soundly in his honourable soul and never otherwise troubled the world. Can you be sure of that, Cardinal? That which sleeps can always be woken, no matter how soundly it slumbers. Better I woke it now than left it to wake in years to come when there was no against it. Burn this place.
Again, always with the burning. Again with the burning.
Yep. He does love his burning. He likes a bit of fire, he does. I love the fact as well that you don't get to see how the Inquisitor kills the demon Strom. It happens off panel. This is bloody good. This is some proper good comics work going on here.
Oh, it's the kind of idea. It's also, to be fair, what's he going to do? Shoot it or stab it or what have you? So you're like, has he? You're not told. So you then get the premise of maybe he had to do something else, and the something else is whatever you come up in your own head. Yeah.
But that's not the important part. The important part is Gravier telling the story in a muddled way of how we got to this point. It's the entire sort of scratch record, and this is how I got here, is not something I'd often enjoy. But having the story shown in this way and unveiling in this way is so interesting, and it's the type of thing that works really well in comics. It can work really badly as well, but here it's chef's kiss. 10 out of 10, no notes. Love Inquisitor.
Yeah, it's the fact that this is Dan Abnett. The Dan Abnett who does Darkblade.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, come on.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Was Darkblade never meant to be more than a one and done or something? Because genuinely, this is top notch. This is absolutely. Inquisitor it started strong and it's just kept on. It's kept on being possibly the best comic that we've had out of this Warhammer Monthly so far.
Yeah, a bit too soon to say it's the best so far because
we don't know how it ends.
And we've seen from last issue Shadowfast, which was probably up until the last episode my favourite story so far.
Yeah, that's true.
Then wasn't.
Yeah, then it retroactively shit the bed.
It's just
but what I find interesting about this is it's a still to be continued. This feels like an ending, but we've still got more to come.
I think it'd be very slight because of that. I think if that was to end now, it then puts the story into. You would just say, no, this is very much a throwaway story at this point.
Yeah. I think Warhammer Monthly's trained me to expect stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
But no, all in all, the artwork is absolute top notch. The way the story is scripted is just brilliant. The characterization of everyone it's absolutely amazing. And
I said I'm enjoying that the Cardinal is a much more rounded creature than we kind of in the first installment. Because these are things, particularly when you've got, because I think from our chat, sort of the previous stories, DeFay very much falls into the too cool for school category.
Yeah,
in terms of the character, so you're not going to get much of substance from him. He is just, let's say, he's your cool favorite fanboy character you created. So you're getting the vulnerability and the potential jeopardy around the supporting cast.
Yes.
Again, very much like Doctor Who, is the companions are there because they're the ones to be in jeopardy because you know full well the Doctor isn't getting killed.
Yeah, and it's a decent way of doing it, because then you don't have to worry about the Inquisitor and how he reacts to things. You can just have him react like an Inquisitor. You know, he's going to turn up and he's going to shoot the shit out of something. Having Gravier being the one recording the story, and then having the being not the voice of reason, but often an opposing viewpoint. Yeah. It just makes a really nice dynamic.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is you don't want the whole cast for a story like that with a character like DeFay. If everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, you're the best, you're so cool," let's not bother.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this is. I'll have to find out when Ravener and Eisenhorn, because I want to know how much of this ends up in Eisenhorn. Because this feels like there's not a passion, but there's certainly a real interest in the writing that isn't there in Darkblade.
Yeah, like I say, it's just that it's like Dan, you can do this, and then you do the other things. Like, just really,
yeah. Oh, sorry, just little kitty is wanting attention. Well, all in all, yeah, I've really liked Inquisitor so far, and this one, it's nice to feel that there's some experimentation going on in this type of story that can be told in Warhammer Monthly, and it's having this out of sequence story being told really sang to me. It's proper. Oh, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. This issue ends on a real high note.
Yes, I'd agree. It's and I say the art is fantastic. I like some of the openness on it as well, in terms of you're not getting fully rendered, fully finished stuff. It's just letting it bleed to white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like giving the art room to breathe. It's a nice touch, because there is a tendency sometimes to just do all the lines, put everything there, but it's like, no, just it's not an important detail. Leave it. Your eyes,
yep.
You shouldn't be looking to it. So. Not all in all, despite the presence of Darkblade, I don't feel as annoyed and disappointed as I did from last issue.
No. Yeah, for the most part, I mean, what we've had is a really good Inquisitor, a solid Dwarflords, a good Khal Jericho, and also Darkblade, and pockets.
Nice little fluffy one, so.
Yeah, it's been a good issue. It's almost like we're starting to get there now. We're starting to get an actual product out at the Warhammer Monthly after 15 months.
Yeah, we'll see how well they do, though.
Well, hopefully it continues. Hopefully we keep this level of good up. Fingers crossed. And then Darkblade goes away and never comes back. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
We know that.
So then, with all that being said, Andy, where can people find you if they want to find you and give you copies of Darkblade, the trade paperback?
Your house. I'll give them your there. Shit, go there. Honestly, normally speaking online, I look about a few places, but my Blue Sky is probably the best place to grab hold of me, which is adtcomics.bsky.social. If you happen to be at TFN, because by this time this is done, this comes out, TFN's done and dusted. Hope you said hello. If you enjoyed the podcast and told me, thanks. If you didn't, and by that I mean you didn't enjoy the podcast and told me, please don't. Nobody needs that. And if you haven't listened to the podcast, you should.
Yes, you there, not listening to this right now, come and listen to us.
I'll leave the details with Adam as to how he can make sure that happens. That's I'm just here to make ideas. He can make it happen.
Well, thanks to Blue Sky, I think that's the majority of our listeners are coming from there.
Yeah, and others by this point, as TFN have gone, hopefully, say, plenty of people enjoyed the Juggermorph Ash Can, which, as of recording, I'm waiting on it being shipped to my house.
Nice.
Take down. By this point, the trademark will be comfortably in mine and Gavin's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Things move in partnership with the Cost Comics to ensure that there is some Juggermorph material in 2026.
Awesome. Awesome. It's ridiculous how much I'm looking forward to seeing the stuff.
Yeah.
As for myself, you can find my personal work on adnicol, that's nicol.weebly.com, where you can find all of my art, most of my writing, buy my books from there. You can listen to the audiobooks I put up, including We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, because that went to public domain, and Mean Streets, A History of the 2D Fighter. Yeah, free audiobooks, go on, you want to. Outside of that, the Fluff and Hammer, you can find us anywhere that you want to search for the Fluff and Hammer, except Twitter. We're not on there. We got rid of that. But we're on everything else, so you can just find us on the Fluff and Hammer. Thefluffandhammer.com, everything comes out every day. That's not a sentence I was trying to say, but I've got a cat trying to chew my arm off. Every day I put up a brand new article, some description, ranging from Necromunda Historica, or the mapping, or Suffer Not the Alien, or the Heavy Metal Mondays. Stuff goes up every single day of the week. So come and join us and enjoy the huge amount of archive that I've managed to build over the last 8 years. Honestly, I'm just finished cleaning the entire site up. It's taken me 3 months, and it has been rammed full of stuff. I didn't realize how much stuff I'd actually made. If you want to talk to us on this show, you can email us at fluffandhammer@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you think of this show. Send us letters. I really want to know what you guys think of Warhammer Monthly and of us talking it through. Where we are now, this is issue 15. I think issue 7 or 8 has just come out. I think issue 8's about to come out. 8 or 9. So that gives you an idea of how far ahead we are at the moment. So any emails that you send us, we will get to once we get to that point. Outside of that, I think the only thing really left to say is thank you, Mr. Andy, for joining me today.
Pleasure as always.
And thank you guys for home for listening, if indeed you still are. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our lives are becoming more reliant on electricity than ever. We're streaming, cooking, working, charging our cars, even sending that hilarious joke in the group chat. So soon we'll need even more electricity. We could be harnessing more affordable sources of homegrown energy, but we need to grow our electricity grid to connect it. Leave that with us, and we'll leave you to overanalyze the excruciating silence of seeing 2 ticks, but no reply. Moving the grid forward moves us all forward.